Good morning, everybody. I hope that I'm audible to all of you. And slides are visible. So yesterday we have seen discussion regarding what actually is manufacturing and production is, and then what are the different supporting activities, facilities of the production system. Then what are the three categories of manufacturing systems, like purely man work system, then work machine system, and that is semi-automatic system or partially automatic system and fully automated system. Then what are the relative strength of and attributes of machines and human, and what are the business functions or the supporting functions for the manufacturing plan operations. So here this part is, we are going to say it as an automation, and this part which is a soft functions is said to be as a computerization, like product design, manufacturing planning, manufacturing control systems.
Sir, you're not audible. Sir, you're not audible.
Automation principles, that which principles are generally adopted for automation. So I hope that I am audible now.
Yes, sir. Now you're audible.
Okay. So yesterday I just told you people that there are a lot of advantages of automation or automating the thing or doing the things by using the technology. It has psychological effects as well as some hygiene. If we think of production in food industry, then it has a hygiene advantage. If we think of uh, tourism industry, then it has advantage of convenience as well as safety, traceability. If we take the industry like production industry, then it has these advantages like it increase labor productivity, reduce labor cost, mitigate effect of labor shortages, which is not the case right now in India, but still it is now. It will be there. Improve work safety, improve product quality, reduce manufacturing lead time, accomplish process that cannot be done manually. There are some processes which manually cannot be done, like CNC operations. Then avoid the high cost of not automating. Means competitor, if his competitor is automating and we are not automating, then we are at disadvantage. So these are the reasons, basic reasons, apart from the other reasons. Like suppose we are at automating, so we have advantage over the other non-automated industries, so we can gain that advantage in our marketing. So in short, this is the definition of automation, which is given in the book of M.P. Groover. That automation can be defined as the technology by which a process or the procedure is accomplished without human assistance. So I told you that it is not exactly without human. It has to be minimum human intervention or minimum human assistance. It is implemented using program of instructions combined with control system that execute the instructions. So automation is executed or is implemented by using the controllers, sensors and actuators. So these systems are there. Then we will be able to achieve the automation. So now we will say first of all that see that whether how automation or whether how, in which situations we should go for automation and how we can go for automation. So one principle which is generalized principle is given, that is known as a USA principle. That is, first of all, we need to understand the existing process which we need to automate. Then we should try to simplify the process. After simplification of the process, after understanding the process, and then after simplification of the process, if that process, simplified process, is needed to really automate, then we can go for automation. Otherwise, if it is simplified in such a way that it need not go for automation, then we can think of whether to go for automation or not. So that is what actually is given like as a USA principle, that understand, simplify and automate. But anyway, if we want to go for automation, then these are the strategies for which we need to go for automation. If we want to go for automation, like first of all, we have to go for specialization of operations. So specialization of operation means some operations which are specialized operations, we have to identify those operations, and then those operations we need to design the automation system. Next is the combined operations. If we want to go for automation, then if possible we should combine the operations and the single station, and then we should go for automation. Like suppose on the single machine, like on machining centers, if we are able to on the single machine do drilling, reaming, tapping, milling on the same station, so that will be always advantageous than moving from one station to another station. So as far as possible, all the operations, if most of the operations are done on the single station, that will always be advantageous. Then simultaneous operation is also one strategy, that simultaneously if we are able to do 2 or 3 operations at a time, then that will definitely save a lot of time and it will become more productive. Integrated operations. integrated operations like while loading or while unloading or while finishing some or while machining, if quality control is integrated with the production system, then or while moving or transferring the product, if assembly is integrated with the that particular station, like integration of operations can also be done. So that strategy we can then apply. Then flexibility is always advantageous, because suppose our station and our automation system should be as flexible as it should be able to adapt to the changes, or it should be able to mitigate or it should be able to meet with the change in the configuration of the product. So that if minor changes are there, it should be able to handle that or accept that, or should be able to do that, so that we can have the minimum or less batch size. Like for lesser batch size also, we will be able to operate the production line. Then improved material handling. Then online inspection, that is what is integration of inspection with the production system. Then process control optimization of the complete system operation, optimization of the product flow, optimization of the product parameter, machining parameters, optimization of the process parameters, that is also required. Then plant and operation control, and the ultimately computer integrated manufacturing system, SIM system. So these strategies are there for automating the system, automating the production process. If we don't automate, so it is a say, or it is a quote, that automate or immigrate, otherwise evaporate. Means either in today's era we have to automate, because automation has the advantage not only of competitive advantage but also has economic advantage. So we need to automate. Otherwise, immigrate means wherever it is cheaper labor is available, cheaper land is available, taxes are less, there we have to either immigrate, or then otherwise we will not be able to stand into the market, we may evaporate. So this is what is actually the today's need. So where automate comes in the first place, where we have to automate the process. We should be able to automate, use as much automation as possible, as much as automation as feasible and viable. So before going for any project implementation, we have to see that whether it is feasibility of the system, feasibility of the implementation. Then we have to think of viability, financial viability. We have to also think of the social impact, so social acceptability. So all these things we need to consider while implementing any change into the technology. So this is what actually is there, but we cannot go all of a sudden, we cannot switch all of a sudden to the automation stage. So if we want to switch to the automation, suppose we want to implement, introduce any new product, so we directly should not go to the automation, but still, first of all, we should go in a phase-wise manner. Like in this slide, it is 3 phases are explained. For example, a typical automation migration strategy is given. Phase 1. The phase 1 manual production using single station manned cells operating independently. This is used for introduction of the new product. So if you want to introduce a new product, instead of then investing in automation facilities, which will cost much more initially, should first of all we started with the manual stations because manual stations is quicker and cheaper with simple machines. Then if we find that our product is now successful into the market, then we can go for the single station automation sales. And after that, if product grows and then it becomes successful, more successful in the market, and we think that it is long-term product is going to stand into the market and the demand is increasing, then we can go for the automated integrated production system. So this diagram, this will tell us about the three phases of the automation: phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. In the phase 1, we can go for manual production, that is one station cell like this, where manual stations will be there and production will be starting with the simple and lesser investment with human cells. And if more number of stations are required, we can increase the level of human being, we can increase the number of human beings. Then in the second stage, in the second phase, automated production, if you want to do, then production or processing machines can be automated, whereas handling can be manual. Like loading and unloading can be manual, but the processing stations, machines can be automated. Like instead of traditional machines, for example, traditional machines like milling machine or lathe machine, we can replace it with the CNC machines. We can replace it with the CNC machines or automated processing stations, and then loading and unloading can be done, and some material transfer can be done manually. So this is the second phase. And in the third phase, when we are confident of our product, that the product is going to go into long run and for the longer duration and mass production, then we can go for this third phase, that is automated integrated production system, where the stations will be connected automatically without human being. So handling will also be done by the machines or automated systems. As shown in this figure, these automated cells are there, automated stations are there, and material is handled either by the way of conveyor or by some other way. So likewise, we can go phase wise into the automation in production system. So here a question is asked by, I think, how the online inspection is done. Online inspection can be done either by vision system or by integrated CMM system. Okay, so there are online inspection systems are there. Like here, suppose product is moving, so by vision system, camera based system, online inspection can be done, or even by a dedicated system can be designed for inspecting online. Those dedicated system can be dust trigger probe system, or even CMM can be used, that we will see later on in the CAQC. Okay, so this online inspection is also possible, then integrated with this automated transfer works unit. So all this is two levels of automation, and first one is purely manual or traditional production system. So here the single stations are automated and the rest of the activities are done manually. For example, suppose CNC machine is here, loading and unloading is done manually, or some processing station is there, some presses are there which are CNC presses, but loading of sheet is done manually. Here every like loading, unloading, as well as moving the part from one station to another station is also done by the conveyor or automated material handling system. So these are the three products automation phases depending on the product demand. So if product demand is very less and we are introducing the product for the first time, then outrightly we cannot go for the automation as the product being a new product into the market. But if we are established manufacturer and we are having the traditional plant, then we can go for automation definitely for medium level production or high level production. So now what actually manufacturing is, we have seen earlier also that starting material or raw material is there, then some manufacturing process is here, and then this manufacturing process will require inputs like machinery, tools, power and labor. These 4 inputs are required. Then we will be getting the output as a finished product and some scrap or waste will be there. So this is the output or the finished product of this manufacturing process, and here the starting material is raw material. This raw material can be a finished product of some other process, and our finished product can be a raw material from the next manufacturing or some other process. But if we think of our product, then this product will require some inputs like machinery, tool, power and labor as a manufacturing process. So there are variety of manufacturing processes. This diagram will give you a total picture of manufacturing processes. There are 2 types of manufacturing processes. One is processing operation and another is assembling operation or joining operation. So in processing operation, we can see that there are shaping processes, there are property enhancing processes, and there are surface processing. So shaping processes like solidification process, another is particulate processing, deformation process and material removal process. So now I want to ask you a question that which processes are there in material removal? Which processes we can name in material removal process in manufacturing? Yes, anybody? Facing, turning, drilling. Right. So any machining operation like turning, facing, drilling is a material removal process. Punching, grinding is a material removal process. Right, exactly. Has been given by Saurav. And AM, who is this AM? Short form? Roll number. Adit. Okay. So next, deformation process. Yes, tell me now. You can write down in chat box deformation processes. Which are the deformation processes? Forging, drawing, extrusion, rolling. These are the deformation processes. So Yash has written forging. Number 23 has written forging. Okay. Okay. Then particulate processing. What is particulate? Powder metallurgy, particulate processing is right. Satyam has written it. Then solidification process. Casting, exactly. Good. Then property enhancement is heat treatment. Then surface processing like cleaning and surface treating, coating, depositing. And joining processes like welding. What is this? Leaching?
Sir, surface finishing.
सरफेस फिनिशिंग, लीचिंग प्रोसेस कौन सा है? चिंग नहीं मालूम मेरे को. ऑनिंग लैपिंग पता है, ग्राइंडिंग पता है. ओके. So then joining में there's welding, brazing, then adhesive bonding. So these processes now we are interested to do automation. If you classify industry on the basis of the level of industry like primary, secondary and tertiary industry. Primary industry is agriculture, forestry, fishing, livestock, mining, petroleum, wearing. Wearing means mining, similar. Then secondary is aerospace, automotive. This is all textile, wood, rubber, furniture. And tertiary industry like banking, communication, IT industry, hotels, service industries, most of them. Education industry, these are the tertiary industries. We will be primarily focusing on the secondary industry. Yes. Now industry type. So there are process industries and discrete manufacturing industry. The very basic things which we want to just discuss and then we'll go ahead. So process industries and discrete manufacturing industry. So process industry and discrete manufacturing industry. Process industries perform their production operation on amount of material. Okay. And discrete manufacturing industry perform their operation on the quantity of material, like one material or two component. Material tend to be liquid, gaseous, powder and similar material. Material tend to be discrete part and products. So process industries like chemical reaction, comminution, chemical vapor deposition, distillation, mixing and blending of ingredients, separation of ingredients comes under the process industry, whereas discrete manufacturing like casting, forging, extrusion, machining, plastic molding, sheet metal, these are the discrete manufacturing industry. Both industries need automation. Process industries automation is little bit straightforward, but discrete industry have some more functions are there, so activities are more. Relationship between product variety and production quantity in discrete manufacturing product. So आपको पता ही है, you all know that what is mass production is high, like more than 1 lakh components, medium production and low production. So if quantity is low, the variety will be high. So this is what is actually low means job shop type of production, less than 100 components, or generally it's very rough figure, 20 components is job shop type production. Medium is between 100 to 10,000 or 1 lakh. Again, very rough figure. And high means 10,000 or more than 10,000 or more than 1 lakh annual production. This is again the same, explaining the same thing with a different block diagram. Like here now the production quantity and product variety again and again we are comparing with this. Like for high or mass production, more than 1 lakh components, suppose, here we have already studied that we need product layout where flow lines will be there. Because quantity is more, so this type of automation is required where flow line is there. This automation, phase 3 automation, mass production lines will be there, fixed or maybe automated, whatever. Then batch production, where medium level of volume is there. It will require cellular manufacturing and process layout can be there, or cellular layout can also be there. And job shop type of production may require process layout or fixed position layout. So this process layout or cellular layout is more popular nowadays. So this is what actually is the picture with respect to product quantity and product variety. Here again we can see that how continuous and batch production can be there, like for discrete manufacturing and continuous discrete manufacturing and process industry. Here, process industry and discrete manufacturing. This is the process industry, suppose, but continuous production. Here, process industry but batch production. Here, discrete manufacturing but continuous production. Here, discrete manufacturing with batch production. So this is process industry, this is discrete manufacturing industry with continuous and batch production. Continuous production will require production line, batch production may require some product layout or some cellular layouts. Here in process industry also generally is a product layout is there. Then next is the levels of operation, which is important. Levels of automation. Now you have to think on this slide, levels of automation. You see from the bottom, device level. Device level or the machine level. Device level means simple ones in operation, where one specific device is automated, like suppose one specific material handling system is automated, or one simple operation is automated. That is device level automation. This is a device level automation. Then next level, upper level is machine level. A complete machine is automated. For example, CNC machine. Device level means one simple operation is automated. Only material holding device, chuck is automated, or material transfer is automated. That is device level. And complete machine is automated, for example, CNC machine. That is machine level automation. Then cell level automation or system level automation. Like manufacturing system or group of machines are automated. Complete cell is automated. 3 or 4 machines are kept in a cellular system and robot is feeding all these 3-4 machines. Loading and unloading is done by robot or some other means automatically. So that is a cellular level automation. Complete plant level automation is there. So that is production system is completely automated. And another level is enterprise level automation. Enterprise level automation is the next stage of plant level automation, where only flow of data will be there required in the enterprise level automation, like ERP system. So this corporate information system is there. So these different levels of automation are there. We are more concerned about these 2 to 3 levels of automation right now in this subject, that is device level. We will start from device level, then machine level automation. So directly some systems are already automated systems are available, like CNC machines are available, CMMs are available, machine vision system is available, AGVs are available. So this level of automation is already, so we will study this system. And then cellular systems are there. So after placing the system or machines in the cellular system or any some small manufacturing configuration, then we need to study that arrangement, that is cell system level, and then plant level, and then enterprise level. Or we can see the levels of automation here also in detail. Some description is given here also. Right from the bottom we can start. Device level, what is required in device level, in process industry and in discrete manufacturing. Need of both the industries are little bit different. We'll start from the device level, and then at the upper level, then it will it will be same. So at the device level, sensors, actuators are required with some control loop for the unit operation. So at this device level, automation can be achieved by using the sensor, actuator and controller, or some controller and some other devices. Similarly, here in device level operation in discrete manufacturing, sensor, actuator can accomplish with control of machine actions. So here sensor, actuator and controller is required at the device level. The next level is machine level, or is also known as in the process industry as regulatory control level, where control of unit operation is there. Here in discrete manufacturing, production machine or workstation, discrete production manufacturing machine will be automated. Here that particular unit of the operation will be automated in process industry. You can visualize any process industry and manufacturing industry. Process industry like cement production plant or cloth production plant, and in manufacturing simple automobile plant or any consumer durable manufacturing plant like sewing machine, washing machine, or any bearing or manufacturing, whatever such plants. And manufacturing cell or system level, here it is known as supervisory control level in process industry, where control and operation of the several interconnected unit operations that make up the total process. Here in discrete manufacturing, control and coordination of group of machines and supporting equipment working in the coordination, including material handling and equipment. So here, control and coordination of group of machines is required, as well as supporting equipments is required, like supporting equipments with machine loading and unloading and inspection machines. Coordination is required. Then here in supervisory control level means process level, third level, that is control and coordination of several interconnected unit operations. Here requirement is different, that is heating will be there, mixing will be there, then such operations will be there. Then at plant level, scheduling, tracking, materials and equipment monitoring. Here in plant level, scheduling, tracking, work in process, routine parts through machines, machine utilization. At plant level, generally will be the aim is there, how much machine is utilized, how much production is there. At plant level, that is what is usually logged out. So at plant level, this will be seen. Then at enterprise level, most of the things are similar in both the process industry as well as discrete manufacturing industries. Like management information system is there, strategic planning, high level management of enterprise. Same. Management information system, strategic planning, high level management of enterprise. So policy decisions, then how much policy, whether additional workshop is plant is required, modification of process is required. Many things can be decided on the top management level. So this is on the top management level. This starts from the workshop at the device level and it moves to the top management level. So likewise, levels of automations are there. These levels of automations we will be studying one by one, how we can go for automation. So first of all, we will be studying device level automation, and then we may go for the next level of automation in the course of this subject. So at present, for today, I will be covering up to this topic. Then we will continue the same slides. So in the same slide in the next class. Just hardly 4 to 5 slides are there. So this we will be covering in the next class. So do you want to ask me anything? Otherwise, then I can conclude today's session. So, is it clear that at manufacturing industry and process industry, if we start from device level, then some difference is there, but at enterprise level, then things become same. Okay then. Thank you.